Welcome back, Rebels and Misfits, to another exciting episode. I'm Rachel, and you're listening to The Rachel Stein Show. Let's get this conversation started. Welcome in, Rebels and Misfits. Are you ready?
From small town roots to big city scoops, it's time to get real, no fake news in these loops. Gen X sass meets Gen Z flair. Rachel Stein's here, so y'all better prepare.
Underground Studios presents The Rachel Stein Show.
Where pop culture and hard news perfectly fit. So buckle up, cause we're about to begin.
Hey everyone, Rachel here. And buckle up because we're about to dive deep into the TikTok saga that's got the entire digital world on edge. Now, this isn't just another tech drama. We're talking about the future of how millions of us work, create, and make that bread. So let's get real about what's going on and what it means for all of us. Let's get started with some mind-blowing numbers that'll make your head spin faster than a TikTok transition. Now, we're not just talking about lip-syncing teens here. TikTok is a serious economic powerhouse. Over 5 million U.S. businesses are riding the TikTok wave. Generating a whopping $15 billion in revenue. That's not just impressive. It's straight up transformative. For real, TikTok has become a lifeline for entrepreneurs. Small and medium-sized businesses have poured $14.7 billion into marketing across the sectors. We're talking about real people building real businesses, not just influencers doing dance challenges. Here's a wake-up call. 224,000 Americans are getting their paychecks thanks to TikTok. The food and beverage sector alone contributes $6.4 billion to the GDP, with 73,000 jobs just in the culinary content space. That's a lot of foodies making bank. Alright, let's talk numbers. That'll make your wallet feel light. TikTok is a home to over 225,000 established brands, actively building their empires. But here's where it gets wild. It's just not about them posting content anymore. Alright, let's all dive into some of the brands that are absolutely crushing it in TikTok. We're not just talking about the random accounts here. These are established names that are turning the platform into their own digital goldmine. First up, we got some serious fashion heavyweights. We got Abercrombie & Fitch. They built a solid following of 141,000, serving up styling tips and hauls that keep their fans from coming back for more. Gucci, with a whopping 3 million followers. Gucci's going all out with their more is more approach. They're mixing catwalk snippets with off-the-wall humor that's got everybody talking. Dior. Now, these luxury mavens are killing it with influencer collabs and consistent presence across fashion, accessories, and cosmetics. They're proving that the high-end brands can still keep it classy while getting down with the TikTok crowd. Even the beauty world is also making waves. Made by Mitchell. This makeup brand's TikTok shop strategy led to the mind-blowing 106% sale increase and quadrupled their following. They even hit 2 million in sales in just 1 week with their Barbie-inspired campaign. And don't even get me started on the food and beverage industry. KFC, their chicken sandwich campaign racked up 221 million views and boosted their ad recall rate by 24%. McDonald's, they're using close-up food shots and smart targeting to drive impressions and get people through their doors. Joe and the Juice. These are smoothie kings went viral with their tuna cotta sandwich and collabs with Paris Hilton and Alex Earl. Retail and commerce. Hell, you got Good Fare. The online thrift shop is leveraging user-granted content and behind-the-scenes peaks to boost conversions. Crumble Cookies. They're using Spark ads and hashtags like hashtag CrumbleView to build hype on their weekly favorite drops. Ryanair and Lotus Cars. also making waves, showing that even airline and car manufacturers can find their brew on TikTok. Now, these brands are proving that with the right strategy, any industry can turn TikTok into a gold mine. They're not just posting content. They're creating experiences, starting conversations, and most importantly, driving real business results. It's a whole new world of marketing, and these brands are writing the playbook in real time. Check it out. 33% of the users are making direct purchases through the platform. That's numbers projected to hit 39.9 by 2026. And get this, 97% of accounts with 100K followers reported increased sales. Even the smaller creators under 4,000 followers are seeing 86% sale growth. It's like a digital gold mine, and everyone's striking it rich. Y'all, this TikTok drama isn't just a US thing. It's a global implication that'll make your head spin. I mean, the EU is eyeing TikTok like a hawk, considering similar regulations. They're not playing around when it comes to data privacy and content moderation. In Asia, countries like India, which have already banned TikTok, leading a whole new crop of local alternatives. I mean, we're talking apps like Shingari and Mitron popping up faster than you can say viral dance challenges. And I know I probably murdered those names, but hey. I mean, this potential ban could disrupt international trade and commerce big time. I mean, we're seeing alternative platforms like Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts gaining serious traction globally, but don't sleep on those Chinese tech giants. I mean, they're expanding their reach. I mean, ready to fill the TikTok-shaped holes in the market. Now, let's break it down by sector, because TikTok isn't just changing the game. It's rewriting the rule book. Brands like Sephora and Urban Outfitters aren't just dipping their toes in. They're diving headfirst into a TikTok pool and seeing major sales boosts. Music labels are discovering the next big thing. Movie studios are dropping trailers faster than you can say it's corn. I mean, you remember when YouTube used to be where the next big music star came from? Now it's TikTok. And I think that's what's pissing people off. Ad agencies are shifting budgets to TikTok faster than you can scroll past an ad. Those engagement rates are no joke. A whole ecosystem of startups is popping up with TikTok-focused solutions. It's like an app is spawning its own mini Silicon Valley. Let's get specific with some real-world examples that'll make you want to download TikTok right now, if you haven't already. I mean, Glossier, this is a beauty brand that saw a 25% increase in their sales after launching on TikTok. That's a glow up if I have ever heard one. Now, Chipotle, the guac to the future challenge drove 10% increase in guacamole sales. Avocado toast, a local boutique in New York City saw 50% increase in foot traffic after going viral on TikTok. So see, dreams do come true, y'all. Before we jump into the political side of things and what's going on, I want to showcase one creator that I found, Jensen Savannah. She is a food connoisseur. She goes through the Carolinas and looks at food, and she bases her TikTok off of her experiences with the restaurants throughout the Carolinas. And trust me, there is a lot of good food in the Carolinas. And I also have a friend of mine that does the same thing. He transferred his gaming content and everything else into food critics. Sniping for Dom. He does a lot of good things on TikTok. He's blown up huge on TikTok since he switched for that. But let's look at Savannah Jensen and listen to her story.
Would you say this is your most popular cocktail?
This is definitely the most popular.
My niche is to showcase the Carolinas, so if it's a small business, a festival, any of restaurants, experiences, I really love to cover it, especially if it's a local business. I really love to help expose people to those local businesses. Cheers! TikTok would personally affect my life if it were to be banned in the US. It would affect my business by 50% because that is, along with Instagram, TikTok is 50% of my income. one thing that lawmakers don't understand about the app is that there's one side for the influencers, but again, there's another side on the businesses, and that we are really helping locals and drive so much foot traffic into these local businesses that they wouldn't have gotten without TikTok. Perfect. Thank you so much. Yay! Okay, cool. So here's the day in a life.
All right, so you just heard it. It would affect her 50%. It would take away 50% of her income if they were to ban TikTok. So see, this app is more than just dance and sing songs and everything else. It's become a livelihood. It's become a business opportunity for people that would have probably never even have thought of doing it. So, but anyways, now let's talk about this big elephant in the room, or should I say the dragon in the App Store. The House passed a bill on March 13, 2024. It was called the Foreign Adversary Controlled Application Act, H.R. 7521. Now, this legislation, which has far-reaching implications for the digital landscape, was passed with a 352 to 63 vote, which will force TikTok off your phones. Now, here are some key aspects of the bill if y'all didn't know this. Divestment requirements. The bill mandates that ByteDance, TikTok Chinese parent company, to sell off their social media app within 6 months or face ban in the United States, which is what we're coming up on. The App Store restrictions. So if ByteDance fails to comply, the bill would force Apple and Google to remove TikTok from their app stores, effectively cutting off any new downloads. Browser accessibility. The legislation also aims to prevent service providers from making TikTok available on web browsers in the United States. We're seeing that now with a lot of the adult sites like Pornhub and stuff like that. A lot of states are going, you have to age verification, ID verification. So, it's kind of crazy where the political arena can infringe on our freedom of choice and our freedoms, period. National security justification. The bill is rooted in concerns about data access laws and potential national security threats posed by TikTok Chinese ownership. But we still haven't seen any proof. Timeline. Initially, the standalone bill wasn't voted on by the Senate. However, it was later incorporated into a larger foreign aid package. So the bill, H.R. 7521, was really never passed. It didn't get passed until H.R. 815 came into play, which, get this, also included support for Ukraine, Taiwan, and Israel. That's why you've got to read the bills, and that's why I think we need to have more transparency when it comes to what is in these bills, and I think the people themselves need to vote where our money goes. Not the person that we put in charge. It needs to go to a standalone vote every November on a special election or something where that money goes. The final passages, the comprehensive package, which included TikTok's revisions, passed both the House 360 to 58 and the Senate 79 to 18, with strong bipartisan support. Now, we all know, because we already knew that was going to happen anyways, but, President Joe Biden signed the National Security Act 2024, which included the TikTok Diverse or Ban Bill, into law on April 24th, 2024. Now, under the signed law, ByteDance now had 9 months to divest itself from TikTok, with the possibility of an additional 90-day extension if the deal is in progress. Politicians. We don't need them. We really don't. Now, this legislation has set the stage for a complex legal and economic battle now. With significant implications. We're looking at a free speech infringement. In international relations, don't get me started on that. In the future of our social media in the United States, that's what's scary. Because with that bill, that means all of our social medias could be under that in some way, shape, or form in the future. If they're allowed to take one app out just because of a rumored data breaches or whatever from the Chinese government, which that's a whole nother political scandal in my opinion, but this is crazy. But now the Supreme Court's fast-tracking this case. So they have set up oral arguments set up for January 10th. So, I mean, it's like we're living in a political thriller, really. But the stakes are our favorite app. Now, my biggest question is why is this not left up to the people to vote? Just like I said earlier, I mean, it's our lives. It's our lives, our everything. I mean, I know we put these people in place to vote for things that were supposed to be good for us. But how in the hell is one person able to know what is good for everyone? Spoiler alert, this is what is wrong with the country. I mean, the people have no say. Until January, hopefully. But hopefully this will all change, and if I'm seeing light, I mean, it's coming in brightly. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, that's for a whole nother episode. Let's dive back into this whole thing right here. So, this whole national security threat narrative, I mean, needs some unpacking. While there's been noise about ByteDance's connection to China, and the evidence is still murkier than the FYP after 3 a.m., I mean, former employees claim that the God credential and a Hong Kong protesters raised eyebrows, but we're still waiting for concrete proof. They have not shown us any proof where what they're stipulating the grounds for all of this and the ban, they've never showed us. None. There's no proof out there. And it's just not the feds getting in on this action. I mean, several states are cooking up their own bans. I mean, California, for instance, I mean, it's proposing to restrict your data privacy laws that could affect all social media platforms. I mean, it's like a game of whack-a-mole with the legislation and the direct infringement of our rights, if you ask me. Alright, you tech nerds. Then I say that with love. But let's get in the nitty-gritty of why TikTok is so dang addictive. I mean, why the speculations about the two big boys of the game are the main culprits pushing Congress into banning it. I really do. I think Google and Facebook. I think they're the ones that are pushing Congress to do this. Has nothing to do with the Chinese. And they're scared because the app is far more superior than theirs. The algorithm crashes their algorithm 100%. So TikTok's algorithm is like that friend who always knows what you want before you do. I mean, it uses AI and a machine learning to analyze your behaviors, your preferences, and even how long you spend watching each video. It's scary. I mean, it's very scary how good at curating your personal feed is. But, it's good for business. The numbers don't lie, though. I mean, TikTok's engagement rate are off the charts. I mean, users are spending an average of 52 minutes per day on the app, compared to 38 minutes on Instagram and 26 minutes on Snapchat. I mean, that's a lot of scrolling, folks. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, data privacy. I mean, TikTok's collecting user data like it's going out of style. Location, browsing history, device information, you name it. But here's the kicker. They claim it's all anonymized. I mean, not sharing to third parties. But you can believe that what you want. I mean, I really don't. I've never had a problem with it. I've been on TikTok since day one. I mean, nothing. I've never had anything. And if they want to get something from me, all they got to get is cobwebs. But let's talk cold, hard cash. I mean, TikTok isn't just a fun app. I mean, it's literally a money-making machine. And this is where I think the big boys, Google and Facebook, when I say big boys, are behind all of this. I really do. I really do. So advertising, they have an $8.5 billion ad revenue in 2023. E-commerce, $4.2 billion from direct purchases. Branded content, $2.3 billion from partnership with brands. I mean, you don't see these numbers on Facebook, Instagram, or anything else. You just don't. You saw similar to those prior to TikTok coming in, so that's why I'm saying I think that's the problem. I don't think it's data sharing. I think they're just using the fact of data sharing, even though Google and Facebook steal more information than raccoons stealing trash out of a garbage can. But I mean, hold on to your hats, because by 2026, I mean, this revenue is projected to hit $25 billion. It's just a year, dude. It's just a year. With a compound annual growth rate of 20%. And that's past her growth in my plant collection during quarantine. I mean, come on. So VC firms are throwing out money like at TikTok, focused startups like it's going out of style. I mean, even big players like Shopify and Stripe are jumping on the bandwagon, integrating TikTok into their platforms. I mean, it's like everyone's trying to get a piece of that sweet, sweet TikTok pie. This is why I think, I mean, the more and more we get into this, the more and more, you know what I always say, follow the money, you'll find the culprits. For all of you aspiring influencers out there, here's how the pros are turning those likes into dollar signs. So ad revenue through TikTok ad revenue share program. I mean, you got to sign up for all these things. I mean, anybody can sign up for them. I mean, all you got to do is put it in a business account or however you do it. I mean, I don't even do anything and I get coupons. I get everything else daily from TikTok. Spend this much money on ad and we'll give you $100 off on whatever. They want you to advertise with, merchandise, selling direct merch to fans. You can set up your TikTok store. You can sell t-shirts that you make at home. I have a friend of mine on TikTok that sells her stuff through TikTok. It's just crazy. There's affiliate marketing programs. You can earn commissions through affiliate links. I mean, TikTok is a creator-based. They want creators to succeed. So, I mean, smart creators aren't, they're just not putting all their eggs in the basket. So, I mean, what I'm talking about is diversification. You never want to do that. We learned that with Mixer, everybody was on Mixer. They all had all their eggs in one basket, didn't diversify, didn't keep up with their YouTube channel. TikTok wasn't around then. Vine was around, but Vine wasn't that big of a thing when it came to what gamers did and stuff like that. So when Mixer crashed, those people lost a lot. So, yes, you should diversify your content. You should make sure your YouTube channel is growing. You should focus on these other apps. I don't use Facebook. I use YouTube. I use Spotify. I use some of the other ones, but I don't focus on Facebook. But, so diversify your content. That's 100%. Always do that. Always have a backup plan, no matter what you do. Even big businesses have backup plans, so. But, now, switching gears again, listen up. I mean, politicians. Gen Z and younger millennium. Now, I mean, listen up. Gen Z and young millennials, they're not just dancing on TikTok. I mean, this is how TikTok has evolved over the years. I mean, they're changing the political game. I mean, the Gen Z and the younger generation that is on TikTok, I mean, these are young voters, 18 through 29. I mean, they were split between Harris at 51% and Trump at 47%. I mean, this is compared to Biden's 25-point lead in 2020. Now, it's clear that TikTok just isn't influencing dance moves anymore. I mean, it's really shaping how the world operates and looks at things. I mean, even when it comes to politics. Now, I mean, again, this isn't just about one app. I mean, this whole thing is setting precedent for how we handle tech in general, data privacy, and international businesses, the digital age. I mean, like I said, other countries have already started laying down the law. I mean, German's NetzDG law requires platforms to remove hate speech within 24 hours. I mean, India's IT rules mandate that strict data privacy and content moderation standards, but the potential ban of TikTok raises some serious questions about free speech and commerce. So, I mean, it's really a scary thing. Yes, we need to keep our data protected, but why aren't Facebook and Google getting hammered with the same situations? Why are they not being under strict regulatory guidelines? So think about that. But, the Supreme Court, and they've got their work cut out for them. I mean, they got to balance national security concerns with First Amendment rights. I mean, I do not want to be on this ticket. I mean, this would be crazy. Because you have over 7 million people sitting there chomping at the bits for this to not get banned. So the impact of TikTok goes way beyond just the platform. I mean, we're talking about a digital earthquake. I mean, that could be shaking up multiple industries. I mean, it could be devastating. I mean, I gave you the stats up above. Go back and listen. I mean, these businesses have grown substantially over the last few years once they've jumped on the TikTok bandwagon. And now that the government's just going to rip that away just because of some rumors of data privacy. No, this has bigger implications than just your data being leaked. Trust me. It's about one app digging into the pockets of others. But, so, like I said, the impact, I mean, you got retail and e-commerce. I mean, direct sales and brand awareness are skyrocketing. Entertainment and media, music, movies, and TV shows are finding new audiences. I mean, market and advertising, I mean, ad spend and campaign strategies are shifting dramatically. Technology and innovations, new startups and tech solutions, I mean, they're popping up left and right. And behind all these massive numbers are real people with real stories. I mean, small business owners who built their dreams on TikTok. You got content creators supporting their families through the platform, marketing professionals reinventing their careers in the digital age, young entrepreneurs finding their first taste of success, which is very important for the future of our young entrepreneurs. I mean, the future is broadened since TikTok. I'm sorry. It has. I'm not sorry. I'm taking that back. I'm not sorry. We needed something like TikTok. It brought us out of a dark time during the pandemic. It brought us, I mean, I think TikTok saved a lot of people's lives, I'm not gonna lie. Both financially and mentally. So here's the thing. Where things get really interesting, the TikTok saga could reshape the entire social media ecosystem. I mean, Elon's looking at X as making an all-in-one, talking about bringing back Vine, but you know what? He's got a whole big platter of things to worry about now. He doesn't have time for this. So he needs to, I don't know. That's the only thing I'm worried about Elon taking over that is because he's got his space stuff, his X, he's got all this other stuff, his Tesla. I think he's got too much on his plate. I don't know if Elon's gonna be beneficial to what they're putting him in charge of. But, yeah, like I said, I mean, TikTok already has and will continue to reshape the ecosystem of social media. I mean, if it survives this legislative challenge, I can see TikTok going into overdrive when it comes to growth. I mean, we're not just talking about the app. We're looking at the future of social commerce, creator monetization, digital marketing, data privacy standards, international tech regulations. So, you know, and you all know that Trump threw his hat in the ring, which I really do. I think it's kind of shady that the ban was supposed to stop one day before the inauguration. So hopefully Supreme Court will sit there and take his consideration in considering delaying the shutdown until after he can do something. Because I really do. He's a businessman. I think he can negotiate. He's negotiated with other countries before. He's negotiated with China before. Let him do it. That's what I'm saying, Congress, Supreme Court, if you're listening, let him do it. Let him negotiate. Because this little app that turned into the dancing stupid little shit that I used to thought it was, after doing this research on this episode, oh my God, it's a game changer. I think in 5 years it will literally overshadow YouTube, Google, Facebook, all of them. So I think that's what the biggest thing is. But so here's where we're all wondering. Will TikTok emerge from this stronger than ever? Or is this beginning to the end? I mean, history shows that social platforms either crumble under pressure or become unstoppable forces. I mean, look at Facebook's wild ride through its controversies. We'll see in the next few months are going to be crucial. I mean, the next few weeks, actually. I mean, will more businesses jump on the TikTok train? I mean, if it survives, Will they see it as an ultimate survivor? Or will they play it safe and spread their bets across different platforms, which they should, but they need to focus on one. So one thing's for sure, in the attention economy, controversy often equals currency, and TikTok's got plenty of both right now. But I think we're going to jump out of here. Make sure to keep those notifications on, because this story isn't just about the app anymore. It's about the future of how we connect, create, and commerce online. The digital landscape you wake up to tomorrow might look very different from today. So, just remember, always keep your eyes open, filter the bullshit, do your own research, and, like I said, how can one person represent 1,000 people think they know what they're talking about when they don't even know technology themselves? All right, so this is Rachel Stein signing off. Stay curious, stay informed. Keep watching this space, because the real TikTok story, ladies and gentlemen, it's just getting started. All right, peace out, y'all.
Plan to stop the ban on TikTok next month?
We'll take a look at TikTok. There's one poll that showed us down about 30. We were 35 or 36 points up with young people. So I have a little bit of a warm spot in my heart, I'll be honest.